Hi everyone, I'm John C. Morley, the host of the JMOR Tech Talk Show and Inspirations for Your Life. Well, hello there, everyone. It is your favorite friend and professional here, knowledgeable executive, Mr. John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. It's always great to be with you on one of my shows or one of my great content pieces that I put out there. And today we are here at the JMOR Tech Talk Show. It's great to be with you. Whether you're with me in the morning, the evening, or any other time, doesn't really matter. Thank you so much for being here from the bottom of my heart. And if you're not sure which show to watch, because I have so many of them, why don't you check out some of my shorts? And the shorts that you like, you can find the long version of the show and go right from there. All right. Well, before we do kick off the show, I want to let you know, ladies and gentlemen, that we have a great show for you. And that show, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for the title? Well, here it comes. Hacking, Lawsuits, and Robots, the Future of Tech Unpacked. Yes, that is our show, ladies and gentlemen. And I think it's important to understand, just what all this means, because sometimes I got to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, it gets a little bit crazy, right? It gets a little bit crazy to understand, all this great stuff, all the things we're doing. And I know sometimes you might say, John, this gets nuts. And you're right, it does get nuts. But technology, ladies and gentlemen, is always evolving. It is evolving every single day of our life. I mean, every single day of our life, technology is evolving. So before we do kick off this wonderful show here, I would love to ask you guys to go grab that favorite beverage from the fridge. If it's an icy cold one or a warm one, maybe that delicious snack, whether it's a healthy one like a scrumptious apple, maybe some peanuts, or maybe some chocolate chip cookies or potato chips, or what other thing that will, tickle your fancy. Definitely check that out, because I think you guys are really going to appreciate today's show, because today's show, ladies and gentlemen, is about technology. And, we talk about technology all the time, but I think when we can embrace technology, when we can make technology be part of our daily life and we can use it to help us become a better version of ourselves, see, that's when the magic really happens, ladies and gentlemen. It's not just picking up the newspaper and looking to see, what's out there and what's new. It's how is today's technology, okay? How is that affecting us to become a better version of ourselves? And if we choose to implement certain things, how can we make these changes in our life? It's not hard, but we have to be a little conscious of these things. And when we're a little conscious of these things, guess what happens? Life happens. Yes, life happens. And things get to be, when I say amazing, they get to be absolutely amazing. Yes, absolutely, absolutely amazing. So when we think about a lot of things out there, I know you might be saying to me, John, I don't get things. I don't know why this is a certain way, but I'm here to tell you that life is amazing. All right. And so let's talk about technology from the very ground up. Hey, hurry up from your fridge and come on back, because I want to kick this show off. All right, everyone. So again, welcome everyone to this week's episode of the JMOR Tech Talk Show, where we explore the dynamic world of technology and the impact it has on our lives. In fact, technology is changing and evolving every single day with nuances that can just astound you. In today's fast-paced digital landscape, staying informed is crucial. So join me as we discuss the most pressing tech news, uncover the latest trends, and provide insights that can shape and mold your understanding of our tech world, which is constantly moving. Here's what we'll be diving into. So let's get started. So the U.S., yes, the U.S. disrupts Russian hacking. The U.S. and Microsoft take decisive action against the Russian group Star Blizzard, which targeted sensitive systems and organizations. And this is a big issue, ladies and gentlemen. I got to tell you, anytime we have issues from other countries, it's always an issue, right? And so the US and Microsoft have disrupted a Russian hacking group known as Star Blizzard, which targeted Western think tanks, journalists, and former military officials using spear phishing tactics to gain access to sensitive systems. Now, the group linked to Russia's Federal Security Service conducted sophisticated and persistent cyber attacks, prompting US authorities to seize over 100 associated domain names. Wow. Deputy Attorney General Lisa Monaco emphasized the government's commitment to exposing such cyber threats, while Microsoft noted the group's elusive nature, having tracked their activity since 2017. Wow, that's pretty amazing. Hey, guys, if you haven't catched my hat, do catch it. Or the QR code at the screen. BelieveMeAchieve.com for more of my amazing, inspiring creations. So we have to keep an eye on what's going there. And ladies and gentlemen, the Irish privacy probe on Ryanair. An investigation is launched into Ryanair's use of facial recognition technology amid passenger complaints. And what does all this mean to everyone? Well, it means there are issues when it comes to concerns. There are issues when it comes time to people's own stuff. And I got to tell you, it's something that a lot of people don't quite understand. All right. So this technology can be misused. But what does it mean to our privacy rights? Well, it means a lot. So Ireland's Data Protection Commissioner has launched an European Union-wide investigation into the Ryanair's use of facial technology for verifying customer identities when booking through third-party websites, following multiple complaints from passengers. The airline, which asserts that this measure is meant to enhance security and protect against inaccurate data from unverified online travel agents, states that passengers can bypass this requirement by arriving early at the airport or by pre-submitting identification documentation. Ryanair maintains that both its biometric and non-biometric verification process complies with the EU, the European Union's General Data Protection Regulation, the GDPR. So I also want to tell you, friends, when you go to the airport and just before you're going through security, they will ask you for your license, which is the gold license pretty soon, and either your passport, and they're sometimes going to ask you one of those two pieces of information. And then after that, what'll happen is they'll want to take a picture. Well, you can actually opt out and say, you know what, I don't want my picture taken. And they'll go through a few extra steps and you will be good to go. In news in Texas, the U.S., yes, Texas sues TikTok. Texas files a lawsuit against TikTok for allegedly violating children's privacy laws by sharing personal information without parental consent. So we're going to talk about this in a minute. But what I want to share with you is that TikTok's not being fair. So you guys know I grow on TikTok anywhere from a couple hundred to over thousands of views on TikTok. But the minute I post something that has to do with TikTok or what's going on, do you know what happens? Well, it's strange, but they decide that they are going to shadow ban me on that content. So being a journalist for now 7.5 years, almost 8 years, TikTok does not play fair. So that means if you want the truth about what I'm going to say about TikTok, I can't post it on TikTok. I can post it on Facebook. Now, I got to tell you, when I post something about Facebook and it's constructive feedback, Facebook doesn't care. They don't take me down for that. TikTok's just so obsessed because of all their lawsuits. So this is a big concern for a lot of people. So Texas sues TikTok for violating children's privacy laws, and Texas has filed a lawsuit against TikTok accusing the platform of violating children's privacy laws by sharing personal identifying information without parental consent. So Attorney General Ken Paxton claims that TikTok fails to provide adequate privacy controls, even allowing data from private accounts to be shared and enabling targeted advertising aimed at minors. The lawsuit seeks an injunction and civil set of penalties of up to $10,000 for each violation under the state's Securing Children Online Through Parental Empowerment Act. TikTok has not, of course, responded to this. And whenever I post on TikTok about this, they just shadow ban me. So I get like 3 or 4 views. And it's crazy. They shadow ban me for an entire day for doing this. So what I've learned is I can't post the truth on TikTok about TikTok. If you want to learn about what I'm saying about TikTok, go to Facebook. Go to Instagram, go to YouTube. I can't post the truth about TikTok on TikTok because they're just going to censor it. All right. So we'll keep you abreast of what's going on there. And the U.S. NLRB complaint against Amazon. A complaint is being filed allegedly against Amazon's refusal to negotiate with its unionized drivers as it's labeled a joint quote unquote employer. And we'll explore the implications for labor rights and this gig economy. So Amazon was hit with a pickle, I'll call it, with the U.S. Labor Board complaint over joint employment of drivers. The NLRB, which stands for the National Labor Relations Board, filed a complaint against Amazon recently, alleging that the company illegally refused to negotiate with a union representing drivers from the contractor Battle Tested Strategies, BTS. The NLRB claims Amazon is a joint employer of these drivers and employed tactics to discourage union activities after they successfully unionized with the International Brotherhood of Teamsters. The complaint follows Amazon's termination of its contract with BTS without prior bargaining, which the NLRB asserts violates federal labor laws, and Amazon has denied the allegations, asserting it lacks sufficient control over the driver's working conditions to be deemed a joint employer. The case is set to be heard by an administrative judge in Los Angeles later this coming March in 2025. So what this is meaning is that there is this gray line between the gig economy, people driving. We've had it with Uber, we've had it with Lyft, and the fact that they don't want to pay them benefits. They don't want to give them their fair wages. This is a very, very big problem. And it's these big companies that are doing this. Amazon, Lyft, Uber, and other rideshare companies. In fact, in one particular state, they're actually forming their own company because Lyft had decided to pull out of that particular state. So we'll keep you abreast of what's happening there as we move forward. And ladies and gentlemen, yes, the European Union, Meta's data use limitations. Yes, the European Union's court rules that Meta must limit its use of personal data for targeted advertising without explicit consent. And what does this mean for the future of digital marketing? Well, it could mean a lot. So Meta must limit data for personalized ads. The European Union Court basically made these rulings, and the Court of Justice for the European Union, CJEU, has ruled that the Meta, the parent company of Facebook, must limit its use of personal data for targeted advertising, following a case brought by privacy advocate Max Schrems. The court determined that Facebook's use of sensitive data, such as information about users' sexual orientation for personalized ads, is not permissible under the European Union data protection laws without explicit consent. This decision is expected to significantly impact Meta's advertising practices and could lead to similar challenges in other jurisdictions. Meta stated that it does not utilize sensitive data for ad personalization and awaits the publication of the court's full judgment. Well, we all know that Facebook and all these companies like Google, they kiss up and they play games. And when they're found with their hand or even their finger, stuck in a cookie jar, like, oh, it wasn't me. Like, we never do that. Of course we never do that. And then they're willing to somewhat, let's say, comply, because if they don't, they know it's not only larger fines, but their executive officers might find themselves behind bars for a long time for the violation. So they are starting to take this seriously. But I think we as consumers and business owners have a right to make sure that they are staying on their toes. And if they're not, say something, report it. And we know reporting things to Facebook and these different platforms, it does absolutely jack squat. They just don't care unless it comes from a legal authority or a regulation entity. That's the real thing. And ladies and gentlemen, these new AI cameras for driving offenses are being implemented. In Plymouth City Council, they're implementing AI cameras to monitor mobile phone usage and seatbelt compliance. We'll discuss the balance between safety and privacy because I think this is a big, big issue. So, in Plymouth City Council, they have deployed AI cameras along Tavistock Road to monitor driving offenses, specifically focusing on whether drivers are using mobile phones and if passengers are wearing, yes, seatbelts. The camera captures images for AI analysis, which are then reviewed by humans before they take any actions, of course, such as sending a warning letter or notice or intended action of prosecution. Previous deployments of this technology on the A30 and the A38 showed low offense rates with a 0.31% rate for mobile phone usage and a 0.38% rate for seatbelt violations. Officials emphasize that the aim to enhance road safety is what the goal is rather than to penalize drivers. I mean, if it helps bring them in some extra money, I'm sure the police departments are not going to be against that. And my whole question is it ethical? Where's the data being stored? And once they've made a decision to act on someone, what do they do with the data? Does it get pulled down? Does it get deleted from the cloud? I mean, we all know it's in the cloud. We know that. That's no secret. But the question is, using AI technology oftentimes will integrate with other systems. So the idea, for example, like if you were, let's say, sending out an email list, and maybe you have to send that email list to be cleaned and make sure email addresses are safe, right? You're still exchanging data. And is your data being protected, or are you going to risk a potential breach of your clients or prospectives' information and be subject to basically their identity getting stolen? And this is a big, big concern. I mean, a very, 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 very big concern. And Evil Corp cybercrime sanctions are being imposed on individuals linked to the notorious cybercrime gang Evil Corp. We'll learn about the ongoing fight against cybercrime and what this is about. So, the UK reveals a father and son at heart of the Evil Corp hackers. The United Kingdom, the US, and Australia have imposed sanctions on 16 individuals linked to the notorious cybercrime gang Evil Corp, which has allegedly stolen around, you ready, ladies and gentlemen, 300 million of over nearly a decade. The UK's National Crime Agency, NCA, revealed that Maxim Yakubits, the gang's leader, is supported by his father, Victor Yakubits, who is accused of helping launder the gang's stolen funds, contradicting his earlier claims of innocence. The sanctions also target other family members and affiliates, including connections to the ransomware group Lockbit, indicating collaboration between hacker groups. Now, this coordinated international operation has resulted in 4 arrests, highlighting ongoing efforts to combat significant cyber threats. And the question you might be asked is, are they going to get caught? Well, they may not get caught today or tomorrow, but I got to tell you, when we've got international law enforcement, like, at the top of their game, ready to go after these people, they're going to do whatever it takes. They cross state lines, they cross international lines, they're going to get them. And I got to tell you that they might have had a very big run, but it's not going to be going on for much longer. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and Epic Games versus Samsung's. Epic Games files basically a legal complaint against Samsung, claiming they complicate the matter of being able to let people get Fortnite downloads with excessive extra steps. So what does this mean for the app accessibility? Well, it's a big problem. So Samsung is accused of, quote unquote, obstructing Fortnite downloads. We know what happened with Google a while back, right? So Epic Games has filed a legal complaint against Samsung, alleging that the company complicates the download process for its popular game Fortnite on certain devices, making it excessively difficult with up to, you ready, ladies and gentlemen, 21 steps. That's just BS, okay? Required to do the install. Epic claims that this results in a 50% abandonment rate among users attempting to download the game, attributing the issue to Samsung's default auto blocker feature, which is designed to prevent unauthorized app installations. Samsung refutes these claims, asserting that users can disable the auto blocker and emphasizes its commitment to security and competition. This lawsuit follows Epic's ongoing legal battle with both Google and Apple over the App Store, and practices to aim here to create a more equitable environment for third-party developers. Is that really what's going on, ladies and gentlemen, or is it about money? So Samsung's block feature. Um, Samsung's auto block feature blocks files downloaded from sources other than authorized stores, such as Galaxy Store or Play Store, if the app is determined to be safe. Temporarily disable this feature and you can try again. So they claim that you can do this. So you might be asking, so this is a question that everybody's been asking me, John, how do we disable the Samsung auto block feature? And it's not very hard. You just go to settings, you scroll down, you tap on security and privacy. You scroll down and tap on auto blocker. You tap on the toggle to turn off auto blocker, download your app, and then do remember to put that back on. So that's not very hard. I don't think that's 21 steps. So I haven't tried it myself. I know a lot of times, the people that are suing make the case worse than what it is. And it seems like Samsung is giving the ability to do this. And all they have to do on the site is say, hey, we want you to disable this feature. Maybe they can put a link to Samsung's page so they could click here to disable it first and then come back. So I think there's a way around it. But of course, we always want to blame the other guy. And again, it's not a hard thing to disable, as I told you, the auto blocker feature. But again, everybody's going to complain when they're not getting revenue. They're all going to complain about it. All right. And the U.S. California governor vetoes an AI bill that recently surfaced. Yes, Governor Gavin Newsom blocks a landmark AI safety bill, citing concerns about stifling innovation. And let's examine this debate, because I think this is a big, big challenge. So as I said, the California governor, Gavin Newsom, has vetoed a landmark AI safety bill that aimed to impose regulations on advanced AI models, citing concerns that it could stifle innovation and push tech companies out of the state. The proposed legislation would have required rigorous safety testing and the inclusion of a quote-unquote kill switch for AI systems. But Newsom argued it did not adequately differentiate between high risk and basic applications. In response to the veto, Senator Scott Wiener expressed disappointment, stating it leaves AI development unregulated, particularly as Congress struggles to create meaningful tech industry safeguards, while Newsom plans to collaborate with experts to develop alternative public protections against AI risks. Major tech firms like OpenAI and Google had opposed the bill, claiming it would hinder progress in the vital technology sector. So here's what I want to say about this. All right. I think it's all about lobbyists and these big companies like Google, etc., talking to the governor. Now, I can't prove it. Maybe they're giving donations to him, campaign funds, who knows? But I just know that these companies have gotten to this governor, and he didn't make this choice on his own. I can just guarantee that. And how about this, ladies and gentlemen? A little robot is actually helping sick kids. Yes, introducing AV1, a robot for sick children. The AV1 robot helps chronically ill children stay connected with their classrooms, bridging the gap during long absences. And let's discover how this technology will be enhancing education. They call this a telepresence robot, and it's actually pretty amazing. So it is something that I think a lot of people don't quite understand, but let's talk about it. So the AV1 robot was developed by a Norwegian company, No Isolation. And they claim it helps chronically ill children stay connected with their classrooms by serving as their remote presence in school. It's controlled via an app, and the robot allows students to engage with the teachers and classmates, maintaining social bonds that can be crucial during long absences due to illnesses. Currently, around 3,000 AV1 units are in use across 17 countries, primarily in the United Kingdom and Germany. While the robot has been praised for its ability to keep children engaged in education and social life, challenges such as administrative hurdles and technical infrastructure issues still unfortunately remain. The AV1 features robust privacy measures, ensuring the safety and security of user data. So I think this is great that they're doing this. But again, this is only the beginning. I mean, they have to do a lot more work to make sure that this is actually going to be the solution for people. I mean, I think this is a big thing, and it's definitely a big step. The question that you might be asking, and it's a very, very good question: how much is a AV1 robot by no isolation? And this is the thing that might throw you for a little bit of a loop. Um, it's not inexpensive. So you rent the no isolation robot. Um, and it looks like you're renting the no isolation robot for basically it's 179 pounds. So if we take 179 pounds to US dollars, just to give you an idea, that comes basically, that's going to come, a little bit more than what most people probably want to spend. Roughly, you take 179 British pounds. And again, this is always changing. It comes out to $234.73. That's today. That's now. Now, if you decided, that you wanted to do the purchase, so the annual cost for the service purchase, because you have to factor this out, right? Because it's a service purchase, because it's not just a piece of equipment. It's 4,993. So 4,993 in pounds. Okay. Roughly, if we check what that comes out to be, 4993.00. That's going to come out to $6,525.35. So if we were to take that solution, and let's just plug in some math here, we take $6,525, 35 cents, and we divide it by, let's say, maybe the child, let's say that maybe they're off 20 days a year. So let's say, I don't know, let's say 345 days the student goes to school. So it's costing them roughly just under $20 a day. That's not a lot of money. The question is, are different medical companies going to provide support for this? Yes, no. And, again, they've got some hurdles that I think a lot of people don't realize. But, this is really geared to help many different struggling kids. Things where kids have anxiety issues, maybe those that have cerebral palsy, gastritis, long COVID, chronic fatigue, good for gifted students, muscular dystrophy, autoimmune diseases, emotionally based social avoidance, EBSA, immunodeficiency, periodic paralysis, Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, injuries, special education needs and disabilities, SEND, cancer, epilepsy, learning difficulties, transplants, surgeries, and operations, and much more. The thing is, it's only being rolled out in the UK right now, as I mentioned. And, to talk about this product being in the UK right now is good. But the UK and 17 other countries and Germany, it hasn't reached the US yet. So I think eventually it will, but it's not there yet. All right. How many of you guys out there play video games, right? Whether it's a Wii, Wii Fit, what are some of the top video games, let's say consoles today? And there are a lot of them, okay? We could be talking about Xbox, Nintendo. Some of the most popular ones that people know about is the Xbox One, right? The PS5, Microsoft Xbox, Sony PlayStation, right? Nintendo, right? So listen to this. the military is now starting to adopt gaming controllers. Yes, the US military increasingly is starting to adopt video game style controllers for advanced weapon systems and exploring the intersection of gaming and military technology. Now, I have to tell you something. For a long time, the military did not want to put themselves in the same class as gaming because they felt that it was like disrespectful, it was a entirely different world. But what is the military doing? They're gamifying things. They're making destroying people and objects on the earth fun. I mean, that's what they're doing. They're taking away, okay, the physical presence and showing that object on a screen like an avatar. And it's no big deal if I destroy a can or I destroy an avatar. It's not a real person on the screen, but really it is. So the question is now with them wrestling with this whole thing about using this, it's going to be, I feel, a political issue with a lot of people. So the U.S. military, as I said, is increasingly starting to adopt video game style controllers, particularly the Freedom of Movement Control Unit, the FMCU, for operating advanced weapon systems. And it's because the kids and students and even some young adults are very agile and they have quick responses with these systems. So they figure, why train them on something new when they've got something they're already familiar with? Now, this shift reflects a broader trend towards utilizing ergonomic, user friendly controls familiar to younger service members, as I mentioned, many who grew up playing console games. The FMCU designed right now is out there to be rugged and adaptable. And it's now the primary interface for various systems, including missile launchers and unmanned vehicles, streamlining training and operation with over 190 million Americans engaged in gaming. The military is effectively leveraging the established familiarity to enhance operational efficiency and effectiveness in modern warfare. Okay, so they're doing this, wonderful. But when we were comparing gaming to weapons, like, oh, no, 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 that's us. But now it's okay for the military to say, well, now we're going to go ahead and use this because it's to their advantage. I have a problem with this. I get the reason they're doing it, but they're a double-edged sword, right? They just do what's best for them, and it might not necessarily be the right psychological thing because now you might stereotype people that whenever they're playing this, oh my gosh, it's like if I touch this wrong, I could blow up something. So that might deprive people every day that still like to play regular video games. That's the danger there, and it cause deep emotional scars to people. We'll have to see what happens. All right, guys. So the IBM world opens a quantum data center, its first quantum data center in Europe, enhancing the region's computing landscape. But what does all this mean for the technological world? So on October 1st, 2024, not too long ago, IBM inaugurated its first quantum data center in Europe, located in Einigen, Germany, making a significant expansion of its global quantum computing infrastructure, attended by German Chancellor Olaf Scholz and key industry leaders. The center features two utility scale IBM Quantum Eagle based systems and will soon incorporate the IBM Quantum Heron, boasting enhanced performance with up to 16 times better capabilities and 25 times faster processing than previous models. This facility aims to facilitate collaboration among over 80 European enterprises and research institutions, including Bosch and Volkswagen, enhancing the region's quantum computing landscape and promoting innovation in various sectors such as materials, science, and energy transitions. The initiative reflects IBM's commitment to fostering a robust European quantum ecosystem, aligning with government support for quantum technology development. Wow, that is a big mouthful there. And quantum computing is definitely going to become more popular. But remember, quantum computing is only around to solve certain types of problems. It's not here for the everyday computer tasks like word processing and general Excel sheets. It's not designed for that. It will be designed for solving things like a climate control issue. And now we're going to have to work on new algorithms that the quantum computers can't break because they're going to try to use quantum computers to break our encryption codes that we have now from regular computers. That's a big issue. And ladies and gentlemen, EarthCam's innovations. EarthCam specializes in live streaming webcams for global documentation and engagement. Learning how they are revolutionizing visual contact and contrast is something I think you're going to be really interested about. So Brian Curry, the founder and CEO of EarthCam, right here in Upper Saddle River, New Jersey. EarthCam was founded, as I said, by Brian Curry. He's a leading provider of webcam content and technology, known for their innovative approach to visual documentation in construction and tourism. They're headquartered, like I said, in Upper Saddle River, New Jersey, and the company specializes in live streaming webcams that allow users to virtually explore global trademarks, college campuses, and natural disaster sites. Notably, EarthCam gained recognition for its time-lapse films of significant construction projects, including the One World Trade Center, with a focus on blending art and technology. EarthCam enhances safety and efficiency in construction while providing engaging visual experiences to audiences worldwide. So that's a pretty neat thing. And so they're using technology. They can use AI to not only do things like show what will it be like in X hours, right? There's lots of things for that. So we're going to have to see what's going on, ladies and gentlemen. But I think, AI and cameras is definitely something we're going to see more of. So again, they're called EarthCam, and it's something that not only let's say construction companies are going to use, but the government's going to be using as well. We know that they've been doing all kinds of different things. They put upgrades for their 360 VR site tour, new AI analytics, and an advanced API integration system. They have a whole, what I'll call it, their bragging hall of fame. They have this place you can go to, and when you click on it, if you go to earthcam.com and you go to all Hall of Fame, you literally can click on it and you can see popular sites like right around the world. And there's one in Edmonton. There's another one. I mean, they're all over. There's one looking at the Statue of Liberty. And they've got these all over the place. There's another one here I just clicked on, which is pretty amazing. It's the Dublin Pub Cam, the Temple Bar. And they're talking about comedy night getting ready to start pretty soon. And so they have lots of different cameras, and some of them take pictures frequently, some of them not so frequently. There's one where a group of team is building a Michigan snowman. There's another one where they have actually the camera on an aquarium, the Florida manatee cam. So there's just lots of stuff out there. I mean, the first time I went to this site was not too long ago, and I was pretty amazed. Gangnam camera in Seoul, South Korea. So you literally can just pop all around the world. This is amazing. So if I go to the search, and let's say I type in New Jersey, because I just want to see New Jersey's cams, I can literally see cams like Seaside Heights. I can see one of the Patterson Falls. I can see another one of Wildwood. I can see another one here of the Lincoln Harbor. Another one, the New Jersey Surfer, New Jersey Department of Transit. They have one here, Susquehanna, New Jersey, Bayhead, New Jersey, Peck School construction project that's currently going on, Fantasy Island Park Cam in Beach Haven. But it doesn't just stop there. If I want to type, like, let's say I want to type in Naples, Florida. Well, I can find things in Naples, such as the Naples Pier Sunset Cam, which is actually really beautiful. The Naples Panorama Camera, Padre Pio Prayer Garden Camera, Turtle Sunset, Island Bike Shop, the Naples Botanical Garden. And so a lot of these have different things you can click on. So, for example, one has like a sunset, then there's a sunrise, then there's a south view, then there's another one, like if there's a restaurant, you can click on it. So I think what's good about this company is that they're allowing people to connect to places all around the world. And maybe these might be places you want to go see. Like maybe you want to go to, let's just see if they have one. If I wanted to go to, maybe I want to look at the Bahamas, right? So, or let me go to Fiji. Let me go to Fiji. Let's see if they have one in Fiji. Um, well, they don't have one in Fiji. They do have an EarthCam, a tropical fish cam. So they don't have them all over the world, but they still have them in a good part of the world. So I got to tell you, for a company to have this many cameras, this was just really amazing. And the one that you're probably interested in is probably going to be New York, like Manhattan, New York. And if I look up Manhattan, New York, this is the first time I'm pulling up all these. I just did a couple before. So you have the Earth Cam at Times Square. That one has 131 million views, and it tells you how many views. They have one of the Empire State Building. They have one of Herald Square. They have different DOT roads. So the thing that's interesting about this is because they're providing the technology to these DOT cameras, they have the ability to just push them right out. And I think it's great that people get a sense of what's outside their door and maybe what's outside somebody else's door. So I know you're probably saying, is this a privacy issue? And I have to say no, because if we're taking pictures or showing video of a public area, I think it's a great security thing. It gives people peace of mind. And if something did happen there, they've got footage right on camera. So I like this idea. And I think what they're doing is pretty amazing. But AI is going to be reshaping the world. And so when we think about technology, whether we're talking about the lawsuits or we're talking about privacy or we're talking about AI regulations, I think what we have to remember is that everything comes down to what is the greater good for all concerned. All technology is created by humans, right? So when we create things, we want to put stuff in the world that's going to allow us to co-collaborate with other people, with other organisms, animals, etc., from a diverse dichotomy around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know who I am, please allow me to introduce myself. My name is Mr. John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. It is always such a privilege, pleasure, and honor to be with you guys every single time I go live on camera or I do a reel. I hope you will definitely check out BelieveMeAchieve.com for more of my amazing, inspiring creations. And, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to catch you guys on the next JMOR Tech Talk show, which will be, ladies and gentlemen, next week, which will be October 19th. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, do check out all this great content, including all my short form content, so you can decide which shows you want to watch. Did you know, ladies and gentlemen, that this show is in our third series? Yes. And we are now on show 41. Wow. We are almost through. We are almost halfway through our third season, which I think is absolutely amazing. So when we think about seasons, just so you know, we do seasons based on the year. Okay. So when we end with, January, like December, it'll be season 4. Unlike the other show that's a daily show, we have 365 shows a year. That's why we have series 3, what the show number is, and then the episode 1 to 7. My other show, by the way, is Inspirations for Your Life. I hope you'll check out all my other great content at BelieveMeAchieve.com. Together, let's make this world a much better place for you and I and all those people you care so much about. Because when we connect with other people, we discover things about ourselves that we may never have uncovered. Have yourself a wonderful rest of your weekend, and I will catch you guys real soon. All right. Take care, everyone. Be well and keep learning.